Hello everyone, and welcome to my Duel Today official news channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. Xander's charge, Kristen's maneuver, Jada's inquiries, and Everett's disclosure. Days in Our Lives Thursday, February 15th. Spoilers state that Xander Cook has been charged with shooting Harris Michaels. Is he correct to believe Sarah Horton on this charge? Kristen DiMera carried out her plan, but it might not work out as planned. Jada Hunter interrogates Stefan DiMera and Ava Vitali. Everett Lynch offers a detailed account of the Horton house fire. Days in Our Lives. According to spoilers, Xander has been arrested once more, but it's possible that he wasn't guilty this time. Sarah doesn't think Xander has kept his word to not take any more dubious assignments. Sarah did, however, inquire about the text that Xander was never even aware of. Will Sarah follow Xander's lead and expel him from her life once more? Given that she doesn't think he would do this now that he has his kid living with him, may Sarah surprise Xander and support her guy this time? Does Sarah think Xander is telling the truth this time around? Is Xander being honest? Brady Black and Kristen DiMera fight. Rachel Black will witness Kristen and Brady sparring once more. Naturally, Kristen and Alex have been working closely lately to maintain the distance between Brady Black and Teresa Donovan. But they are subjecting their child to violence once more. Jada will interrogate Ava and Harris in the meanwhile in an effort to extract the truth from them. Will Ava inform Jada that she is assisting Harris in obtaining information about Clyde Weston? The only people who are aware of the reality are Harris and Ava. Does Ava's account to the police have any supporting documentation? When Jada accepts a double date with Stephanie Johnson and her boyfriend, she has no idea that she will soon be seeing her ex-husband in person. Naturally, Stephanie is equally shocked to learn that Everett was married to Jada during their whole relationship. Everett wants to write a detailed account of the Horton house fire. Even though Chad will reveal to Everett his suspicions about the fire's cause, there's no guarantee that Everett will make the information public. Everett appears to know far more than he ought to. Is Everett really involved in this narcotics ring? Ariane Zucker discusses the Days lawsuit at a press conference. Ariane Zucker made a statement about the complaint one day after bringing a lawsuit against the Days of Our Lives production business Corday Productions, executive producer Ken Corday, and former co-executive producer Albert Alar. Zucker described herself as a committed and loyal employee of Days of Our Lives for over 25 years, reading from a prepared statement. Zucker claimed that when female coworkers were being sexually harassed, violated and degraded as women by Alar, the pleasant work environment that she and others had enjoyed shifted. Zucker continued by saying that despite her attempts to resolve the problems with Corday and Corday Productions, her worries were swept under the rug. Zucker tried to negotiate a new contract with the show, saying that she needed and wanted to continue working on Days even if her worries went unanswered. Zucker stated that Corday was let go after she refused to engage in negotiations with her colleagues. The complete transcript of Zucker's news conference is available below. A video clip from part of the statement is also accessible. My name is Ari Zucker, and since February 1998, I have been a dedicated and devoted employee of Days of Our Lives, portraying Nicole Walker. And I consider myself really lucky to be a part of a history that dates back to 1965. I've been incredibly proud to work on this show. I'm really appreciative to have worked with such a wonderful team and been a part of such a talented cast, with whom I became very close. I developed over the years into not just a significant character on the program but also a friend, host, confidant, mentor, and voice for people who didn't feel like they had one. Now that you know a little bit about myself, I hope you can better appreciate the kind of person I am. I've loved animals since I was a little child, having started riding horses at the age of 7. As a teenager, I started to support animals, and in my early 20s, I started volunteering for other groups like Habitat for Humanity and Make-A-Wish. Ultimately, my brother and I co-founded Arrowheart Adventure Camps as our organization. And our goal is to use nature to help teenagers discover who they really are. But my love for returning favors didn't end there. During the epidemic, my fiancé and I founded Aloha Life Coaching with the goal of assisting others in realizing their own potential via the creation of the lives they want. As a result, every day I took my actual self to work, as you may understand. And whenever I walked on sets, my aim was always to make people happy. I also developed into a sounding board for my loved ones in addition to being emotionally ready for the fast-paced schedule that we had to adhere to at the studio and contributing as an actress. Which brings me to my next point. Our executive producer, Albert Alar, has been harassing, violating, and demeaning my female coworkers sexually for a considerable amount of time. Mr. Alar has also degraded, violated, and harassed me sexually. A number of female employees were let go in March 2023. Our female PR section was completely disbanded. Women whose contracts are not being extended. Because of how they were treated on the show, female cast members decided not to come back. Women began to feel that they were on a repeating status and that if they spoke up, it would be ignored, nothing would be done, or worse, they would be fired. Ken Corday, the proprietor of the show, who is close friends with Albert Alar, was in charge of all of this. After numerous people confided in me about their experiences with Alar, and I had had enough of being hounded, I worked up the guts to speak with Ken Corday, the show's proprietor. My main goal in speaking with Ken was to establish a fair, equitable, and safe work environment. When I originally brought this to the notice of Corday Productions, Ken would not talk to me directly. When I did bring up this information with a male employee at the Corday headquarters, he quickly ended the conversation, trying to talk me out of making complaints. But I persisted that this was no small matter, even though I knew that my complaints would lead to bad ramifications for me and that I could easily be blackballed in my industry, which we have sadly seen time and time again. Since Corday doesn't have an HR department, I was then told to get in touch with someone from Sony HR the following day. To be clear, we didn't have any support from the HR department on our set. Mr. Alar was permitted to stay on set for several weeks after Sony HR began their inquiry into our executive producer, during which time he directed and produced our program. I had to continue working with Alar every day, along with other women who also complained and experienced harassment. One can only speculate as to how this felt. Weeks later, he was taken off the floor, but he was still permitted to direct and produce from the booth directly in front of the stages. He continued to observe romantic sequences, which caused great discomfort for myself, the other actors, and the female crew members. I would also like to emphasize that, until this point in the show, we did not have an intimacy coordinator. As the weeks passed, an email about a wage cut was sent to my agents. My agents received a second request for a compensation cut a few days later. My character was being written out of the show as we awaited the Sony investigation's findings. Albert Alar continued to serve as our executive producer for this entire period. Thanks for watching. If you like this video, so please don't forget to subscribe to my channel and don't miss any updates.